Hi, this is Dr. Teresa Dale and Mark Alyn with Natural Health Radio, your home of your own health freedom, your home of very specific education to help you move through your life easier and with harmony. So we are here to help you today. Hi, Mark.
Hi, how are you, Dr. Dale?
I'm good, very good. Thank you. So we are going to talk a little bit about stress today.
Right.
And things that can relieve stress.
Yes. But let's talk about what stress is. And there are a couple of kinds of stress. I mean, there's good stress and bad stress.
Right. And good stress can also be bad stress if you have a different perception of, like if you get a job and it's a new job and it's great, but the first day the boss is not so great, maybe that's then it's a bad stress as well, possibly.
But good stress is something that we need, don't we, for our lives?
We do need it and that is where our passion can drive us to that good stress. When we have passion about doing something, it drives us to complete it, to be especially when it's, when you have a passion and that you really want to have it happen, and that's a stressor, but it's a good stressor.
And bad stress would be you're fired from a job, you're in a traffic accident.
You're getting a divorce.
You're getting a divorce. Well, that could be good stress too, apparently. I've been married too long. I'm not allowed to get divorced. But getting divorced would be at least stressful.
It's stressful, and it could be looked at both ways. And I feel that the key to stress is our perception. And there's a way that I like to think about it, and I explain it to my patients this way. That is, when we started our universe and we had in the earth, and then cavemen had all this stress because they needed to eat. They were surviving, and they were fighting tigers and leopards and animals to kill them to eat. And today we're fighting cell phones, we're fighting media, we're fighting with our computer, with the tech support, we're fighting with our equipment.
I'd rather fight with those than tigers.
And then, see, lots of people, what we do is when we want a reality so much, we want something to happen so much, we can be in that space, but we know that that's not where we are right now. And so we know where we are right now, and we know where we want to be. And sometimes sitting in the middle and being in the middle of that gap of where you are now and where you want to be can be very stressful, because a person wants to get there, but they know that they're not there now.
I'm going to use a dating analogy. Part of the challenge, at least for guys, is the chase. And that's stressful. So you want the end result. Okay?
And what is that, Mark?
Well, that's getting the girl.
Okay.
This is a family show, Dr. Dale. You know that.
Well, I'm just being very inquisitive here on Natural Health Radio.
Yeah. All right, the guy wants sex.
Okay.
So, which is a great stress reliever.
That's what they say.
That's what they say. So, in that dating situation, there is stress in the chase. Mm-hmm. If you're in that middle part, looking to get your goal, you want to make X number of money. You have stress getting there. How do you alleviate that stress on that chase?
Well, it's a similar thing. It's like where you are now. You just see the person. You want to be with the person. And then you can see what it could be like if you had it, but you're not there yet. And so you're kind of on the fence with one foot on one side and the other on the other side, and you're straddling, and you don't know what to do in order to make it happen any quicker, any better. And so it's your perception that is stressful. Instead of being here now and knowing that you're working on and wanting this certain situation to happen, okay, but being here now, being happy now. Being happy now is a great thing right now.
And we're going to be talking about being happy, too.
Absolutely, and fun.
And fun. And things we can do. Well, sex, it could be fun. Can be.
That's what they say.
Is there anything, personal question, doctor, okay? You're going to love this one. Is there...
Can I go to the restroom?
No, that's not it. Is there such a thing as bad chocolate or bad sex?
Well, it's all perception. It's all not with the chocolate. The chocolate, you can definitely get bad chocolate, toxic chocolate, radiation in your chocolate. You can get chocolate that's toxic because it's not prepared, grown, whatever, healthy. Sex, it depends on your perception. It totally is a perception-oriented thing. It depends if you love the person. And I feel that if you love the person that you're with, the sex is secondary. And I have yet to meet many men who will admit that, but some men actually say that the most important thing is to be with the person and to spend time with them, and then it's so good that the sex time is in the cuddle time.
Yeah. The cuddle time, which again would be a stress reducer.
Now, cuddling, if we could have that in all companies in the United States.
The cuddle room. We're going to go to the cuddle room.
I think that that is a very important thing, is to open your heart and to allow yourself to have fun, to be happy, and to be here now, be happy now, so that you can create a better future and to plan it mentally. So if you are wanting to have a better life in some way and you're not quite there yet, you don't have the house you want, you don't have the relationship you want, you don't feel disappointed because you don't have it. Be happy where you are, and then make the plan of what you need to do and any action steps to create it.
And at the same time, there's that old adage, beware of what you ask for.
Oh, isn't that the truth? That is like one of the most precious things and honest things that I've ever heard of, because when you get it, you may see, the thing is asking for it. It's like, who are you asking? You're asking yourself, you're asking God, you're asking your highest self. You maybe are going out into the universe and asking the planet of the dogs for, wherever you're into it, whatever it is. You're asking for it, but you have to know that you create your reality. So you create it, and you have to be clear about what you want, because if you get what you say you want, there could be lots of other things in that whole package.
I can think of several scenarios. Young woman wants to be married, gets married, and it's not a good marriage. Guy thinks, or a woman thinks, that they want to be a graphic artist, and they realize they'd rather do fine art than graphic art. And there's a big difference. Yeah, it's absolutely a different thing. That they whatever it is that they think they want, and it changes. And I think as we age, our goals change, so our stress changes.
Well, I think in both ways it can change. You can change to the better, where we have less stress, or we can change where we have more stress, depending upon our physical and mental health, and how much we have actually spent time learning about ourselves and being aware of everything, being aware of everything that you can around you and what's happening in the world. And maybe politics isn't such an important thing to your health. And I feel that oftentimes with people it's a big stressor, because I have patients that come in that are so angry. And I say, what are you angry about? Well, I'm angry about something in politics, whatever so that anger, they're putting on something they cannot change. You can't change it. Maybe if you went to Washington and had a whole bunch of people and stormed in and talked to the president and talked to people, you still might not be able to change it. You know what I'm saying?
But at least you're doing something
You're
about it. You're
doing something about it.
Right.
And other than thinking and complaining and being angry, which is wasted emotion, turn the anger into love. Just change it into love. Find something you love in life. You love doing, somebody you love being with, some food you love. Enjoy all the things you love and fill your life with love and get rid of the negatives.
If you have a situation where you're angry about that situation, a work situation, and you want to move, you love the job, you love what you're doing, you just don't like where you're doing it. How do you get rid of that anger? I mean, that's a difficult thing.
You know, it's a very interesting thing because something inside of me always says, well, look into moving. If you're feeling like you need to move, then look into moving. So there should be no possibility that isn't uncovered. If you're really feeling all the time that you need to move, look into it. Where do you want to go? Why would that be better? Can you take your life with you? Moving. What is it going to be like? Just don't hope and be angry because you're not moving. Look into it, because I think moving is sometimes a really powerful, it's change, and I think change is great for us.
And that goes back to the chase.
Right, it goes
really
back to
does.
the chase.
It does. This is Natural Health Radio. Dr. Teresa Dale. I'm Mark Alyn, and we have Daryl Wayne sitting in, taking care of all the buttons and knobs and switches and all that kind of stuff that he does. I want to talk to you for a few minutes about wellnesscenter.net. Wellnesscenter.net. Wellnesscenter.net has been set up by Dr. Dale to provide you with information that you can use in your everyday life. There is information about disease states, about mental acuity, about growing older, just about anything that has to do with health. Dr. Dale has videos, audios, and written material all available for free just for you. So that if you have questions about your health, your family's health, the answer could very well be at wellnesscenter.net. There's also some self-testing that you can do at wellnesscenter.net to find out more about your health. In addition to all of this wonderful information that Dr. Dale has put together, Dr. Dale has spent years and years, we won't tell you how many exactly, researching and developing homeopathic supplements that are designed for you.
Right. You know, Mark, all the homeopathic formulas are FDA registered.
They're
actually
FDA,
each one and each ingredient in each one, it has to be registered by the United States. FDA.
Right.
Now,
so if you go to the wellnesscenter.net and you want to buy some of the products like All Flu, right, is one product that I use.
It's amazing. And one of my staff members was sick on Friday, and he said, "Oh, I have to leave." I said, "Here, take the All Flu." And he came in on Monday morning. He said, half an hour, it was gone, and he was sick all day.
That's amazing.
And it's pretty instant.
Yeah, it's very, very quick. So if you go to wellnesscenter.net, you have a variety of supplements to choose from, to learn from, and learn about. Go to wellnesscenter.net, wellnesscenter.net. This is Natural Health Radio. I'm Mark Alyn.
And I'm Teresa Dale, Dr. Teresa Dale.
You are Dr. Teresa Dale. You got your doctorate in Europe.
I did. Well,
Germany.
I used that education and to fulfill my PhD in the United States because I didn't want to study naturopathy in the United States. It was invented in Europe, and so I worked with physicists and biophysicists and on a completely different level in health and energy medicine and electroacupuncture and, how to make your homeopathic remedy from your saliva or urine.
Wow.
So it's just a very interesting perspective. So yes, I did that.
Wow. And that's a unique thing for a homeopathic
right. Well, I chose
person.
it. I
Yeah,
chose
and you
it.
chose to do that.
Yeah, rather than stay in the United States and do it, I really wanted to go where they invented it, because they have hospitals there in Europe that you can get homeopathy. You do not have to use traditional drugs, so they give you options. So I wanted to learn and see all of it and how they do that. It was fascinating.
We're talking about stress. Let's switch a little bit and talk about happiness. If we had a stress-free life, and there are many science fiction books. I'm trying to The Time Machine with Rod Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
He goes forward and everybody is really happy. Mm-hmm. And a bell rings and several of the people who are happy, they're young, they're beautiful, they walk into this room and the doors close, and apparently they're actually just cattle because they're consumed. They're happy until that happens. Right? We need some stress in our life to be happy, so that we can see the difference between unhappy and happy, right?
And I think that's true. And I think that sometimes people are so addicted to the stress that they're not happy unless they are stressful. They don't feel like they're doing anything unless they're stressed out. So that is the mode with some people's lives. So I think it's about learning to be happy with nothing going on, learning to be happy by yourself, learning to be happy not being in a relationship as well as being in a relationship, learning to be happy when you travel and you're in this god-awful hotel room. It's like with maybe little bugs in the bed, learning to be happy then. Learning to be happy.
I screamed like a little girl. You remembered. I think that today in our society, many people I don't think are happy. I don't know what the studies are, what the research says, but I know that we are stressed. We've got, as you mentioned, we've got our devices, our phones, our cars are basically computers. We've got GPS, we've got watches that talk to us like Dick Tracy. We've got all kinds of different, things to keep us informed, educated, but at the same time stressed. So because we are a society of stressed people, does that mean that our adrenals are working overtime?
Our adrenals are working overtime. Oftentimes, they don't even know where they are. Oftentimes, they are just about to quit. That's enough.
Whoa.
Yeah, they get so burdened and so dysfunctional. And then we start having chronic fatigue. Then we start having other conditions that, it's like that could make us more available, more susceptible to viruses and bacteria, Lyme disease. It can, if the same mosquitoes bit you, you got Lyme disease, but 10 of them bit your friend, and that your friend didn't get Lyme disease. You would look at adrenal health, immune system. So it's very, very important when you get so stressed out, your immune system really takes a nosedive. And then you are more susceptible to things. Sometimes I think people do way too much. They do way too much because they feel very responsible, and oftentimes in doing that much consistently all of the time, they don't take enough breaks for themselves. And I know I'm speaking to the choir here, but I'm speaking to all of you out here that are listening today, and that you need to give yourself a break, give yourself some love, and relax.
And do something that's fun.
and do something that's really fun.
Right. So let's talk about with the adrenals. If you're overstressed, how do you know if your adrenals are about to go poop?
If you don't sleep well at night, if you can sleep all day, and you just can't wake up, or if you have insomnia, if you have a lot of sleep problems, then you have a lot of adrenal issues. And also adrenals are connected to the thyroid gland, which regulates your metabolism and many other things. So when your adrenals are stressed out, you can count on your thyroid not being happy because they're on the same axis. AXIS in the body. So when the thyroid isn't functioning right, you're going to have adrenal problems. Or when the adrenal is dysfunctional, you're always going to have an effect on the thyroid. So that's why sometimes people gain a lot of weight during stress. So both the thyroid and adrenal work together in traditional Chinese medicine, the 5-element theory of Chinese medicine. So we know that for a fact because that's a very accurate diagnostic method.
You say axis, and is that like on a meridian in the body?
Yes, it's like an element in the 5-element theory of Chinese medicine, and then within that you're looking at the thyroid and a meridian, and you're also looking at the adrenals being right there. They work together, and so the adrenals. This is key because so many people are under stress. Yet, if you have a severe thyroid issue, whether it's Hashimoto's, whether it's autoimmune issues, whatever the thyroid issue is, then you also need to take a look at the adrenals because they could be a cause of it. They could be part of it. So you have to do both.
I don't know if I'm right on this. Flight or fight?
That's
the adrenal?
Yes.
The adrenals?
Hans Selye, yes.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And so if your adrenals are super stressed and you're put into a situation where you have to fight or flight, you might not do either. Or
you might not make the decision on which one to do with the best decision. You might be very confused. So adrenals are very, very important. Let me give you an example. If you did a saliva test, or let's say you did a saliva test, and we saw that your adrenal cortisol levels were extremely elevated. Okay, like they were elevated. And what happens when they're elevated is they actually affect the neurology, your thinking, your amino acids, and all of the neurotransmitters. So they affect it in different ways. So it's important that your adrenal glands, that your cortisol level is never elevated. It can be depressed, easy to fix depressed. Also easy to fix elevated once we know that it's elevated. But how many people really know if their cortisol level is elevated? You have to do a saliva test to tell the truthful way and the accurate way of doing it.
You can't just turn to somebody like Daryl or Mark.
Like the thing is that Daryl, we could always ask Daryl. He's a wise person, and
right.
If he could know, do you know? He doesn't know. But your stomach knows.
Your stomach knows. And I was going to ask, they say that your if you have layers of fat around your midriff, both men and women, this is unhealthy, and it's caused by the cortisol. Yeah, you have a flat stomach. Yeah, rub it in. Rub it in, Dr. Dale. It's okay. And you can rub your stomach and pat your head at the same time.
But, here's the thing now. This could be thyroid adrenal related. It could be cortisol levels.
Got it.
Cortisol is a hormone that is produced by the adrenal glands, which produce, by the way, all of your hormones. Your adrenal glands produce the estrogens, progesterones. And so when we get older, and testosterone, when we get older, our adrenal glands pick up the slack so that the ovaries are not going to work as well as they did before. They're going to start slowing down. Your adrenal glands makes what you need, including a progesterone that most people haven't heard of. It's called OH17 progesterone. And that is the type of progesterone specifically that is made in the adrenal glands that we need. And when our cortisol levels are elevated, or at the rock bottom, it's not good, but elevated is really not good. It's worst.
If they're under what they should be, would you have a flat tummy?
No, that'd be wishful thinking.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
You would find things off in both ways, but whether it's elevated, but if it was elevated, see, then you would have more sleep issues, more fatigue, can't get out of bed, can't think, confused. It would affect neurology.
Where am I? Oh, right. I'm at Natural Health Radio. And we're going to take a time out for me to talk to you about the California College of Natural Medicine. You can visit them at cconm.com. That's cconm.com. The California College of Natural Medicine is a nonprofit. The dean, of course, and founder is Dr. Teresa Dale. And the courses are varied. There are some courses for physicians. There are some courses that you, as just a listener, if you would like to take, you can take. And of course, there are other coursework that you can take to become a practitioner. Visit cconm.com. That's cconm.com, the California College of Natural Medicine. You actually get certificated, do you not?
You do. You get a certificate. It's a state licensed vocational school. That means that when you graduate, you can practice, do your new vocation, whatever it is you've learned. And so all of the trainings that I have are you're able to open up your practice without a license so it's a vocational school. And we always teach all the foundational sciences with them. So everybody who takes the training gets anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, all microbiology, macrobiology, you name it.
Well, I have named it, and I've named it the California College of Natural Medicine. Visit cconm.com. Now, at the top of the show, we talked about fun. Your idea of fun could be different than mine, could be different than our friend Daryl's, right? Mm-hmm. So let's talk about what fun is.
Insane Daryl Wayne. That's his fun. Insane Daryl Wayne.
You have no idea.
Yeah. And I don't think I want to, no.
Yes, you do. Daryl, as you probably have figured out by now, is one of the nicest people in the world. Mm-hmm. I don't know why he came up with the Insane Daryl Wayne, but he is known as the nicest guy in radio broadcasting. What I want to know is, how does fun affect the adrenals, the cortisol levels, and all of that? I'll give you an example. I'm going away this weekend. My wife and I have a planned weekend away. And we plan on maybe a massage. We plan on walking a lot, maybe walking on the beach. There may be a little bit of adult beverage imbibing. It's just a way of getting away, of reducing our stress and having fun together. Mm-hmm. That's just one thing. What does that do to us, both physiologically as well as mentally?
Well, it depends on the people. But in this case, I would say that it will help your stress dramatically. And any time you can spend time with a loved one, getting closer and doing things together, you're going to make your life better. It actually can increase the life. It can add to longevity if you're in a good relationship. Now, if you're in a bad relationship, it's not, not you specifically, but anybody. If they think, oh, I can just, maybe you can find, your soulmate, your loved one, and go away on a vacation and help to rejuvenate not only the relationship, but also yourself.
There's a line in a Broadway show, had to happen, didn't it, Daryl? In a chorus line, and these women are singing about their upbringing, and they're dancers. And one of the lines is something to the effect of, when I was born, my dad came to the hospital to pick us up, and he said to my mom, "Well, I thought this would help us, but I guess it's not."
Very interesting.
Isn't it?
Telltale.
Yeah, exactly. And then how do you live with that the rest of your life? I mean, what a horrible thing to say, or even to learn about your parent thinking that about you. You know, exercise. We've talked about exercise.
Exercise can be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many things can be fun. It depends on whether you enjoy life or not, whether you see life as a playground for your activities. You know, so what I enjoy very much for fun would be adventurous things. So in
bungee jumping?
No.
Not that adventurous?
Not heights. But when I was studying in Europe, and after Chernobyl blew up, I thought to myself, okay, I got to go to another country. And I saw they were having a sail to South Africa on the flight. So this is just me. I said, okay, I'm going to go. Well, they're having their Soweto, and the rand dropped that day. I said, good, cheap prices. I didn't think about the negative of Soweto. All I thought about is, God, I can get to South Africa for nearly nothing.
Exactly.
And so there were only 3 people on the plane, on the 747. So we all set. Well, it was a big problem politically, but I just felt like I was supposed to go there and really have a good time and see what reality was and learn some more homeopathy, because there's a homeopathic school there, right?
Yeah, there is. I actually know somebody who, I don't know if she teaches there or not, but she's Doma Peacock. She's a naturopath in Cape Town.
Right. So see, there's beautiful people and beautiful facilities and schools all over the world. And so I went with none of the negative that was being portrayed. I had one of the best times I've ever had in my life. I had so much fun. And the food was great, the education was great, beautiful, beautiful culture. And, you know, so there I was in Johannesburg, and I was on the main street, and all you could see was beautiful South Africans, totally, completely African, okay? And there I was with my camera, and I was treated wonderfully. And all I know is that you make it what you think you're going to make it. So if you go into a relationship or into having fun or doing something and think, gee, I'm really not going to like this, you know, you probably won't.
Exactly. This is Natural Health Radio with Dr. Teresa Dale. I'm Mark Alyn. I wanted to remind you to visit wellnesscenter.net, wellnesscenter.net. Wellnesscenter.net was devised by Dr. Dale to provide you with information on a wide variety of health topics. And you can go in there and look at videos, listen to audios. You can read about different things that are the latest cutting edge health topics from Dr. Dale. wellnesscenter.net. And in addition to all of the free information, there's a store, if you will, on the site that has a variety of healthcare products, homeopathic remedies that are available for sale. And you should go and check those out. wellnesscenter.net, wellnesscenter.net, from Dr. Teresa Dale.
And so, you know, Mark, I was wondering about you. What do you consider to be fun? What kind of things do you like?
I like learning. I like talking. You probably didn't know that. I'm a big reader. Mm-hmm. I love to read. I read a lot of books. At night, before I go to bed, I read what I call science fiction trash, but it relaxes me and I'll go to sleep. I love to cook. I like to write. I don't love to write. Writing is difficult. It's a solitary thing, and I'm more of a people person. So those are the things I like to do. I'd like to get into hiking. I live in an area, Daryl knows, we should go hiking, Daryl.
Still waiting for the invitation.
Well, it's an open invitation. Let's go. There's, we're based, the three of us are based in Southern California. And here in Southern California, where we are in Ventura County, we're not far from the Santa Monica National Park. And I actually live just a few miles from an entrance to it. I've been there 4 times. In
Oh, my goodness.
All the years. One on my bucket list is walking from the entrance of the park to the Pacific Ocean, which would end up in like Malibu or Malibu.
It's right over the hill.
Right
there.
over the The problem is coming back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And it's about 7 or 8 miles each way.
Well, I was wondering what kind of things you really like to do, because I know that you love doing natural. You like doing late night health radio, and you've been doing that for a number of years, very successful. And what do you like about that?
I like the fact that we're helping people. I mean, that's really what you're doing here, what we're doing here on Natural Health Radio. But late night health was designed to empower people to take charge of their health care, to allow them to make a decision. If they want to be treated by allopathic doctors, they can. We talk with allopathic doctors. This week we talked to one who I think has seen the light, because he's using a supplement to treat brain injury and has been studying this for over 10 years. He was in the service, and he discovered this over 10 years ago, and they use it now to treat soldiers with post-traumatic stress,
that's great.
Also athletes. I was not athletic in high school. You were, weren't you?
No, not really.
No?
I used to run.
Did you?
That's it. I just was the runner. That's all I did was run.
Daryl, we couldn't get up the rope?
Not a chance in
Yeah.
Well, that's one way to make people happy. We're talking about happiness.
Right.
Is giving them something that will help brain injuries, that will help their condition.
Oh, this guy was very happy because he's helping people.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what makes me happy. I mean,
Yeah.
I like spending time with my kids and learning about new foods and all of that kind of thing. But at the same time, I think that helping and helping people is really, I guess, my passion. I found this niche. And I am not a healthcare provider. I do not have any education in it. I've just learned. I've been talking about alternative health for over 40 years.
I know, isn't it amazing? That's
It
amazing.
is, because I'm only 32.
I know, and you just told me you were 25. See?
I lied.
Yeah, you lied. Okay, so the thing that we need to do is to find a way to help people, and if you want to create some happiness in your life and you like helping people, don't wait. You can take a course, you can learn, you can put maybe you're used to be a health provider or a nurse and you're not doing it anymore and you really miss it. Find a way to help people, and it brings joy into your life. It's the greatest joy is having people tell you that they are well, that their child doesn't have the disease anymore, the child doesn't have autism anymore, their husband is completely better. I mean, try that for joy, because that's the thing that brings me the most joy, because it's bringing others joy.
And gratitude, I think, also plays a big part in being happy and having a great life. Being grateful for what you have, not for what you don't have.
Yes, and that's the whole thing we talked about before, which was being where you are and being happy where you are, even though you you have a goal and you want to get there, but staying where you are and working through it and being happy and grateful for waking up in the morning. People who tell me, oh, I have nothing to be grateful for, I say, well, did you wake up this morning? They say, well, yes. And I said, isn't it a miracle that you woke up this morning? Isn't that a miracle? I don't know of a bigger miracle when you think about it.
Oh, absolutely.
You go to sleep, you wake up, you had maybe some nice dreams, and you wake up, and I feel very grateful every morning when I wake up, and I have another day to do what I want to do to help people, another day to maybe correct any mistakes I made the day before, like maybe some communications were not quite as clear as I would have liked them to be, and so I really think that every day we have another opportunity.
We do, and I always want to know where I go when I sleep.
Well, you probably go to McDonald's.
in my dreams.
Yeah, where do you go?
I mean, where do you go when you're asleep?
Well, that is a thing that is so interesting. I met this physicist in Switzerland, and he was just so handsome. I remember that so clearly. And he was
the chase begins.
No, it wasn't. It was just like an appreciation.
Right. Sure.
He was also a ballet dancer part-time, but he was a physicist full-time in Switzerland teaching. And he said, I said to him, we have chakras, energy centers in our body. And he says, well, I've been studying how the soul leaves the body at night. When we go to sleep, how the soul leaves the body, where does it go? And it goes out to collect wisdom and awareness and brings it back to you. That's why when you go to sleep, where you want to have an answer to a problem, oftentimes when you wake up, you go, that's it, or I'm going to do this, or you don't even know what something different happens. So he wrote me a paper on it in English about how the soul leaves at night when you go to sleep, and it searches for answers. Searches for awarenesses
would the
and
dreams
answers.
be, in your opinion, would the dreams be some of those answers?
Well, I really don't know the answer to that, but I can just tell you what Dr. Muehlheim said, Jules Muehlheim in Switzerland. What he said is that when we dream, it's like it's almost a creative way of handling things in our life or making us more aware. But the fact that the soul leaves the body at night, I think, is right on. And whether those dreams have something to do with that, I can't say 100%.
Do you remember your dreams?
Sometimes I do.
I don't remember mine. Almost, I have a recurring dream the last few years, which I won't talk about, and it's not a dirty dream. Daryl, do you remember your dreams?
Very rarely, but I have one of the recurring dreams that most radio people do of the record running out, not having anything prepared.
Oh.
Or being in the bathroom and hearing the thump of the arm of the
or being locked out of the studio or whatever, but definitely not having another record queued.
Right.
Yeah, having the record hit the grooves and not having anything ready.
Yeah, interesting.
That is interesting. And what is your, you don't want to tell us your dream you have all the time.
No,
but
it's not a good dream.
It's not a good dream?
No.
So you could get in there and be active in it and change it. I've had bad dreams in my life, and during it I was, like programming myself to do something, do it different, make it different this time, do it different. And I think that's possible. I dream about food a lot.
Do you really?
I dream about food.
Food that you used to eat?
No, I can make anything now healthy. I can make lasagna healthy. I can make eggplant parmesan. I can, it's just dreaming about food.
All those
My
Italian
father,
things.
my father was from Switzerland, born in in Herisau, which is in the suburbs of around Zurich. And he was a internationally famous pastry chef. He made Roosevelt's inauguration cake. He carved in ice. He carved in sugars and things like that. So I grew up with the sweet stuff, right?
Got it.
Including,
But you stay away from
Yeah.
as much as you can.
Yeah, I
Right.
do.
Right.
Except for our lunch today.
We
where
had a little bit of tiramisu.
a little
lunch.
tiny touch of it each, and was good
Is
enough.
okay? Once in a while?
Once in a while.
Yeah, that was with cane sugar rather than corn sweetener. Too.
I know, there was no corn anything in there.
Right.
You have to be careful of the corn today because of GMOs. So, we're getting to that place where we're almost out of time. And I thought that you could give to me and share with everyone different ideas for ways to make your life happy.
Me?
Yeah,
Well,
because I know it's going to be funny.
you could play dodgeball with somebody you don't like. That would
That would be good.
that would be good. That's an interesting thing. I think that as I'm getting older, there are a couple of things that make me happy. Addressing my spirituality is one of them, and I try to do that on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
And being in touch with that God side of me. I think spending time with friends and family. The kids are gone in my house, so I'm spending a lot more time with my wife. We're trying to learn about the second step, if you will, in life, and in meeting new people, in addressing, trying to find other people to hang with.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that we are doing. You're right. We are almost out of time. Can you give me one thing that you do in your life?
One thing I do that always makes me happy is go hiking, and I love to hike, and that always does it because you're out. Anything in nature does it for me. So to be out there with the earth and the trees and smell the flowers and do all of that is awesome. So I think we're going to be ending pretty soon.
Yes,
here.
we are. Just have a couple of moments. I wanted to talk about the wellnesscenter.net. Wellnesscenter.net is a place that you should visit because it's just chock full of great information about life, happiness, health, and you. It's all about you. Wellnesscenter.net is all about you. Visit it. There's information there about how to take care of yourself. There are videos, there are audios. You just produced some audios, I think, Daryl, for it. There are articles. And it's just got a wealth of information.
And another thing that's so important is to remember to laugh, because laughing makes your immune system much stronger. So just, even if you don't find anything funny, turn on the TV, go to Big Bang Theory, go to Seinfeld, go to something, and laugh, because laughing will only make you healthier and bring you joy and happiness.
So the Reader's Digest
laugh a lot.
was correct.
Yes, laughing is the key. And there's some people that...
You know the reference. There used to be a thing in the Reader's Digest. I don't even know if they do it anymore. Laughter is the best medicine, right?
It is. And there are some laughing gurus that have classes where you go and laugh.
Well, in TV studios, they always bring in one or two pro-laughers.
Right.
And they throw them in the audience
right.
to make sure that they laugh, because
right.
they have
it's so
infectious,
important.
Laughs.
So I think that's very important, and I want to thank everyone for being here today with Natural Health Radio, being with Mark Alyn and myself. We really appreciate you. We really appreciate all that you've done and all the awareness you have in your life, and we'd like to add to that and we'd like to help you in any way possible. So, anything last words you want to say?
If you want to get in touch with Dr. Dale, go to wellnesscenter.net. There's a contact tab there, and you'll be able to send her an email, wellnesscenter.net. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much, Mark. I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Daryl.
Thank you, Daryl.